Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate, the original Saga. Now we're going to carry on exploring this area. So, I mean, in the last episode I waffled a bit about... Oh, hello. What's this? It's a caravan. Okay.
You'll feel the sting of my boot if you bother me further.
Ooh. Please, I beg of you, to go no further. Barge is there, strewn about him the carnage is wrought. I've tried to reason with him, but it is as if he is possessed by another soul. It was all I could do to flee the swing of his tremendous blade. Please, unless you wish to witness madness in a once good man, leave him be and pray the spirit leads him in good time. Who is this barge you speak of? Before this curse befell him, he was captain of the guard in Nashkel. I am his cousin, Larissa. For all the bonds of love and blood, save him from his present agony, if there be a way to do so. I will try.
Playthings. Thou hast found me when I alone could not.
Okay, we have. I pray you left a trail of crumbs to lead us all back again. The others did not, so they have decided to stay. So we tried to find a way home together. I pose to you a riddle, the answer of which I once knew, but now cannot perceive. Remind me, and we shall all return unto the day, foul and stay with me in the dark, forgetting whence we came. It has neither mouth nor teeth, yet it eats its food steadily. It has neither village or home, nor hands nor feet, yet it wanders everywhere. It has neither country nor means, nor office nor pen, yet it is ready for a fight, always. By day and by night there is railing about it. It has no breath, yet to all it appears. Well, there is literally two answers. It's war or death. And I am going to go with... I mean, because the key is ready to fight always. Well, that sounds like war, but death is probably the more common, because people tend to comment more about death than war. And not everyone is involved in a war, so I'm going to go with death. The end of night, where the light shines unto mine eyes, and I can see clearly once again. What have I wrought? 'Tis horrible, horrible. I will welcome the block that must await me at Nashkel. How could I live with what I've done? Please, thou must guide me to the town that I might pay for my crimes. I fear I can keep my senses for only so long, and I must not be allowed to do this again. Too many good people have lost their lives to me. Please. We'll see you back safe as you can, though I don't see how killing you will help those that have died. We shall take you to the Temple of Helm in hopes that you may be healed. I fear I can do nothing for those I have wronged, whether I live or die, and I shall know not what led me to this. It's like a foul presence in my mind. I can only imagine that I have finally succumbed to battle fatigue. Take my weapon that I may not harm another. Use it if thou wish, though I'd rather it be destroyed. Innocent blood and everything. I'd only just acquired this sword. Such a waste this has been. Take me to Nashkel, I can bear this no longer.
Greetings, playthings. Thou hast found me when I alone could not.
Right, Boo?
No, I cannot show my face here after what I've done. Just give me to the guard that I may take my punishment as I should. Do not disgrace me further in front of Helm. Calm yourself, Barge. Helm sees all that he wishes and knows much of what you do not. It was your hands indeed that did many a foul deed, but it was not your will alone. Intent is vital, and yours was influenced without your knowledge. Justice will be done, but with atonement, not punishment. But my crimes, my family, I don't want to go on. If you are returned to the garrisons, yours will be the only willful killing that has occurred about this matter. It would be a waste of your life, which, fractured though it is, can still contribute much. Helm will see you through. As for our intrepid friends here, I shall exceed the reward offered by Ublek. After all, it was the same task of bringing Barge to justice. The temple is in your debt for your return of its lost son. See, that almost brings a tear to the eye. You know, because Helm is basically the god of paladins, guards, and honourable fighters.
Gorion would be proud of your actions.
But what calls such a thing? Well, there's this evil bit here, I say evil
Indeed.
because if you look, yes, all that. But if we go to that one, this is basically, it's an excellent sword.
I don't like the way this group is turning out.
It's an
Better
excellent
leadership
sword,
might help.
but it's a cursed berserking sword. So basically, you can only remove it with a remove curse spell, and it causes you to go berserk, which means you cannot be controlled when using it, as you've seen with Minsk, who's often, if you're going to have some fun, put it in his hands, let him go, run away, or watch him carve stuff up till he dies, you know.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
It is done.
I mean, that's quite hilarious, but because he is mean when he's berserk. But yeah, so that is the good ending to that. I knew it was around there. Well, I sort of knew it was around there. I didn't realise that was the ending, though. Well, that it would be that close, if that makes sense, in terms of the area. But hey, what can you do? Right now, just basically sell the loot, top up ammunition, and carry on. I think seems about right.
Indeed.
I am going to sell the Cursed Berserking Sword because it only takes up time. I mean, it's an excellent +3 sword. It's just you can't control it, and it is literally you have a death wish for you and everyone else. And it's worth a good bit of money. So no, I don't want you. The halberds we want. So it's still a hefty reward for Barge. I mean, and from where it is, you could have done it in Nashkel and got it in Chapter 2, but to be honest, it's a couldn't be bothered type thing. It's by the time you've done going to the Null Stronghold and coming back, sometimes you just want to get on with the story, which is perfectly understandable, I think. Okay, 2 sets of arrows. And like I said, the game really opens up. Well, the game opens up from Chapter 2 if you want to faff about. But you've already got the incentive and you don't know what's going on, so... And the Nashkel Mines area is actually quite low level, all things considered. Yeah, you've already got a bow, okay.
Business has been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
So it tends to be about now because of where the bandit camp is. Because I know the outline of the game. I have actually got to like the final chapter, but then for some reason got distracted, and I honestly couldn't tell you what it was. Normally there's another game out and it's like, oh, I'll get back to, and then I just don't because I forget about it. And it's been like that since, because I bought this game when it came out in '98. So, And then I've had it on my GOG library. Pretty much. Well, not since it came out on GOG, but it's one of the first one of the first ones I bought. And currently, I mean, this game is about 20, like The Sims, this game is about 20 years old. Well, over 20 years old, thinking about it. It's really one of those games where if you're not going to complete it in, basically it's going back to talking about franchising and stuff like that. If you really want to complete it before the next game, but the next game kind of only has, say, like, it's only kind of released, say, a year later. You know, it's not a mini expansion. It's not a mini expansion. It's actually a whole new game with a whole new storyline type thing. So you could, because DLC wasn't really a thing back then. So you either had to have a full-blown expansion, like Tales of the Sword Coast, or you would have an entirely new separate game, a Baldur's Gate 2. And what came out after this, I believe, was Planescape Torment.
Indeed.
So, which once again I got into playing and it was a lot more restricted than Baldur's Gate was. Used the same engine but much more restrictive because it had a much more definite story. And I didn't get to finish that one either, because within a year or so of that one, I think you had Icewind Dale came out. And I have this terrible habit, largely due to my like my anxiety and stuff like that, that I have a tendency to, unless I've got some real focus or a real drive,
Indeed,
which is what Let's Plays help me with, I tend to restart, trying to get a perfect game, because I can't deal with, I struggle to deal with what I'm missing out. It's like severe FOMO. Turns out it's probably related to my high functioning autism, because it's quite often.
I think much clearer with rest. Might we stop?
Because that sort of behaviour
I've just about seen enough waking hour slave
of
driver.
having time repeating stuff over and over. I mean, it's like OCD and a mixture of OCD and autism. Anyway, we are going to save here because I want to rest. Which reminds me, if we don't need any healing, but I think you've used your good berry, yep. So, yeah, we'll rest. And then we can make some more good berries. So, yeah. I mean, some of the strangest things I've done with this, for example, is realising that about the limited replayability. It will be like, you know what? I will play one of every single combination of character. You know, and that basically means I was playing every single combination of race and class combination.
Certainly.
So I ended up playing the prologue like 50 times and then giving up because I got bored of just doing the prologue 50 times. And as a result of just doing the prologue 50 times, it's harder for me now to go through the prologue unless I've got an incentive to do so. I.e., I'm let's playing it for other people. So that has helped me a lot. And it's probably why I've probably completed more games let's playing, to be fair, than anything else I've ever done. Before then it was always more a case of buying and having the games rather than completing and playing them. Doesn't mean I don't complete games, it's just it takes a lot for me to complete a game. So, which is why I'm currently doing Let's Play, because it's like I'm not just playing for me and therefore there's nothing keeping me in the game. I'm playing it for other people to enjoy. You know, I'm playing it to show the game for other people, for them to enjoy and encourage them to play the game. You know. And I find that a lot of the games I enjoy aren't necessarily covered by other people who let's play them, because I often find myself getting to the point where I'd spend more time watching a game than I would playing it. Wouldn't stop me from owning it or whatever. It would just be that in order to get to the end of the game, especially if it was a story driven game like this, rather than playing it, I would just watch the story and then go, you know what, I don't need to play it. I've got the bit that I wanted from it.
Really not in this.
For right, and I always am.
Bit of a copyright nightmare, to be honest. Especially with this game. I mean, with this sort of game, because the story is a big part. If I'm streaming the story, or someone streams a story, then it is literally, yeah, it's a game that I won't necessarily complete. But on the other context, that's not how I consume games anyway. For me, I believe in buying games I like, whether I complete them or not, whether I have any intention of completing them or not. It's easier if I can get them on a sale obviously, because I can buy more of them. And I will happily buy copies of games that I've enjoyed in the past, whether they've been updated or not. I mean, I must have purchased 4 different copies of Fallout, for example. So, because every time it would come out on a budget label or for a game that I really enjoyed, I'd buy it. If there was a compilation and I already had it, I'd buy it. You know. And then it'd be, if I really enjoyed a franchise, I would buy other games of the franchise I really enjoyed if I could afford it, regardless of whether I actually played it or not. For example, the amount of times I've gone over The Sims, but I've got all the expansions for The Sims up to about halfway through The Sims 4, because they're getting a bit too rich for my blood with everything else going on. Yet, to be honest, I'm lucky if I play more than the first the base game and maybe one expansion or so. The rest just sit on the shelves because I have a tendency to. So, well, I can't play that expansion until I've played this expansion. You know. And then any sort of distraction, and boom, I'm starting over again because I've completely forgotten what I was doing.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
So, even though I might play The Sims like, well, it's been 20 years and I've probably played that at least maybe every 2 years for a good couple of months. And most of that would be doing the same thing I did in the Let's Play. Just doing that over and over, and maybe doing a couple of challenges. Even though I've bought pretty much all the other expansions. And to be honest, if EA was to re-release The Sims, the Sims Complete Collection, I'd probably buy that too. Especially if it's in a digital format, or it's been updated, you know. So I mean, that's not the reason why why I've got so many abandoned Let's Plays, though. That is a completely different matter. And it's not that I ever gave up. Like I said, I mean, Let's Plays have helped me concentrate, so I've never actively given up on a Let's Play through choice just because I didn't want to do it anymore. Truth of the matter is that when I started Let's Playing and discovered Let's Playing, which was about 4 years ago now, I found that it helped me focus, and I was actually completing more games than I did then. I was actually completing more games than I'd ever done in a while, but they took a lot of time to play, and it was great. I had a lot of free time until I started getting involved in stuff that took up the free time, because prior to that I was pretty much a homemaker due to personal circumstances. And while I was happy with that, what happened is I ended up, my partner at the time, who had a house in Chingford, which was a good few miles from where I am now, from anyone who knows me,
Decency is refreshing.
making the relationship kind of impossible when it got to the point that she had to stay there because of circumstances and commitment, that in order to carry on the relationship, I ended up moving in with her, and it never really got to the point where I was able to, because of the complications around everything, it took so long sorting everything out that I was no longer able to complete the Let's Plays that I had put on pause. And they ended up being abandoned. I mean, to be completely honest, it's only because, although I was planning on picking up Let's Plays, because I did miss doing Let's Plays. When I was planning on picking up Let's Plays back in Chingford 7 months ago, and had started preparing for that. But then COVID happened, and unfortunately my partner died, which necessitated a massive change in my life.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Because I ended up having to move out, and bits and bobs going back to my old flat. And now I'm I'm here on my own, you know, because it's helping me distract myself from like the grief, and to help me cope with the change. And it's giving me something to look forward to going on.
Quiet.
Okay. You're on Barrack's land. Barrack says go away, so go. We're just passing through and we won't be any bother, you have our word. Your word mean nothing to Barak. Kill them. Okay. You really firing? Is that really it? You're on that? Did you just? No, who fired that then? Shouldn't have. Oh, they're using fire arrows because of the bug. It's a strange bug for some reason where. It's a strange bug for some reason where. You, in a patch which you have to download. Really strange bug, to be honest. You know.
Full plate and packing steel.
All the arrow models are fired throwing backwards. In the original, it's quite funny, really.
Art's really not in this.
God knows what they were thinking. Coming in, everyone. How
My blade will cut you down to size.
That's fine. That's fine. You're not going anywhere.
It is done.
That's Barak. So yeah. Pretty bluntly, that's pretty much where things stood. You know? As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by an actual game story. God, I can't be having that now. It's not like I've just spent most of this Let's Play moaning about how great the game is, but the story's lacking. Wouldn't catch me doing that. Yeah. You know, it's... Yeah. Basically... My partner died about 6 months ago, so I had to return and basically rebuild my life. Well, we're not exactly old. It's just so not exactly old at all. I mean, she was 40, and I'm 40 next year. So yeah. Not like we're old at all. And it came as a complete shock, completely devastating. Won't deny that. So I have come back to do Let's Plays. But obviously I can't. Where I've had to abandon the ones because I moved away. I can't redo them. Unfortunately. Even if I wanted to. So at the moment what's happening is I'm doing a mixture of new content, because I want to do new content, and replaying a lot of my old content as well. So that I basically most, if not all of the abandoned Let's Plays will end up being removed, for want of a better word, and replaced. So yeah, you're now area 20, we'll go back to you. So that's basically the plan. But and in the 18 months that I stopped doing Let's Plays, things changed. I mean, most people on YouTube started doing Twitch streaming. I was already about 8 years behind the competition, if you can call it such anyway, in terms of being a professional Let's Player. And YouTube done like the worst thing ever and basically took away revenue for small channels.
Leave us alone, will you? Nothing for you here.
Put your backs to those shovels, men. If she's not out tonight, we'll lose her to the bandit scum. You there, state your business, but don't move from where you stand. I don't want to have to sick the boys on you. Relax, we mean no harm to ye. Have ye had much trouble? Have we? Aye, and plenty of it. Nary an eve goes by without us losing another hand to the night. I swear, if we could get a few moments of uninterrupted digging done, so you wouldn't be willing to do a little service, would you? You could do a lot worse than working for old Charleston Nib. Okay, I would like to know what I would be protecting. What are you doing here? It looks to be glorified tomb robbing in nothing but a decrepit tomb. You are partially right, though it's not a tomb but an ancient settlement. It is also all that remains of a primitive race long since extinct, and we know little about their culture save that they seem to have destroyed themselves in war. Perhaps today we will learn about something more. We are just about to break through into an inner chamber, perhaps the dwelling of the village shaman himself. Mayhap you could be of assistance to us. We need but to keep the camp secure a short while longer. Your very presence would probably dissuade anyone from attacking us, though I do not know the force behind our misfortune. They seem to take great pleasure in minor sabotage and kidnapping, though some of the missing men may have just run off from fear. Nothing is ever stolen, which is odd for bandits, but they must still be the cause. Will you help us? Okay. It would be an honour to help you learned people in your quest for knowledge. Gracious we are. Now we stand a chance of completing the most exciting day of our dig. We're going to try for an entire new room today, possibly the shaman or chieftain quarters. We could find any number of relics within. Move amongst the men as you will, as your presence will no doubt reassure them.
You said something?
Why, hello there. Could we just step aside a moment and have a little chat away from prying ears? First, my name is Gala. Second, we never had this conversation. I'm the partner of that old Mr. Charleston you met, except I'm none too thrilled about the non-profit aspects of the whole thing. The old man seems to think we should donate all of our findings to some museum, whereas I am ever so much more practical. I should think certain people would pay dearly for the magical treasure we are about to unearth, and if they would be so eager, who are we to stand in their way? I would like to steal the item and remove Mr. Nib from my little equation. Are you up to the task? I would have to kill many of the working men if I attacked Charleston. It would be a veritable slaughter, and I want no part of it. Blast you, you are playing just as safe as the old man. So be it, I will find other means to acquire a fair measure of profit from this fiasco. Best you continue with whatever errand you be on. Okay.
You need something, stranger?
Psst. Here there, I'll be leaving as soon as you can. Mate. Boss man there is nice and all, but we have no idea what be going on. I tell you, there's some bad magic in the air.
You need something, stranger?
Okay.
Need something, stranger?
Be ready for this then. Basically there's no markings. And this is the mine site, so it's the last thing we're going to do in this area.
Yes?
Success! We are about to enter the last remaining room. It's sure to be the shaman's abode. Now we'll get some real information about what these people are truly like. And of course, pathfinding means we're already lost. Success, we are about to enter the last remaining room. It's sure to be the shaman's abode. Now we get some real information what these people were truly like. Hey boss man, I don't feel so good. How old is the air in this place? A good question, young man. I would guess that we are the first people to walk in this room in nearly 5,000 years. The very gods of Neveril would have been young at that time. It's so cold in here. I feel strange. I hear a voice in my head. I hear the hollow voice, but it is but a mumble. Speak up and guide mine hands. Rah! You, I see what you are. There is power to be had from your death. Your blood will quiet the voice. Blood will quiet. Okay. Just what we need. Should probably have switched to my indoor stuff, but yeah, they're only diggers, right? Famous last words, right?
Who
You have need of me?
Okay, first off, we need you. No, don't you. Let's... You can mirror image. And then you can be fun and... Let's cast some Stinking Cloud.
Squeaky wheel gets stuck in.
Okay, Chahira, you can cast Bless on Mints, considering you're the front line at the moment.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Rask!
It is done.
God, I love the way they're all showing you. It's not actually poison, they're unconscious because it's the Stinking Cloud.
As directed.
And plus I know what's out there, so to be honest. Come on you two, out you come.
Full plate and packing
Or not.
steel.
It is kind of funny, they're just kind of... But yep, that's Stinking Cloud for you.
It is done.
That is not See, enemy sighted.
For the fallen!
It's like... Okay. To put it bluntly, it's quite clear that this is not the real danger. So, let's have a look and see what the real danger is then, shall we?
You're a queer fellow. This way.
Go. There's an idol in it. Okay.
Yes? It is done.
I think I can explain the madness that overcame my men. They seem to scream in some ancient tongues, but I recognise the word Koza. It's the name of an ancient power, the name of a god of pandemonium. The tribe that lived here must have worshipped Koza and the destruction he brought. The artifact that lies within this stone sarcophagus must be what's caused all the bloodshed. Surely that artifact is cursed beyond belief. We should let it lie within this tomb forever. It is best that it never see the light of day. It is sad, really. I fought to bring a little life back to a long extinct people, and look what I wrought. Certainly some things are better off remaining dead. Here is your pay for the time you have spent here. Your services are no longer required. Everyone pack up, we are leaving this accursed place.
Gorion would be proud of your actions.
Indeed we are.
Camaraderie,
But,
adventure, and steel on steel.
so that was
Stuff of legend,
Koza.
right, Boo?
Blood of pandemonium. The god of pandemonium.
I don't like the way this group is turning out.
We are now at max reputation, which is pretty
This
awesome.
group shows promise exceptional.
Okay, cannot save because there are monsters about. What monsters would they be?
Indeed.
Say doomsay. Oh. And there's you. Okay. Doomsayer. See, what have we got? You. Okay. You're supposed to have all gone, but never mind.
No less.
For the fallen!
That's better.
Indeed.
See, how are you doing? If now called Dan Osa Koza. We reckon the old Koza, the idol, will find the idol.
Squeaky wheel gets the kick.
Now what's interesting is you'll see, looking at what it looks like, There's no damage being taken.
Indeed.
I'll do my best.
I'm gone.
And that means... Really? Oh. Strange. Don't have the idol anymore. I thought I took the idol. Sure I took the idol.
No less than done.
I am here.
Sure
indeed.
I took the idol. I think it was because I
Certainly.
chose... Might be because I chose the good ending, that the... i.e. not to kill Charleston Nib. Yeah, must be. I chose Charleston Nib, so... and said I was good. And therefore I wouldn't kill everyone. But basically... I gave the idol to the Doomsayer.
It is done.
And so he walked off. Which is a shame. But not a shame if that makes sense. So, but yeah, that would be it for this area. So I think it's time for us to leave. So we got the mine, we got there, and then we'll start heading back from that way again. So sure. I know it sounds kind of strange to be disappointed that I'm not
What you want?
having a fight. It's like, oh, really? Oh, well that sucks. It sucks that you weren't mercilessly murdered.
It is done.
Yeah. Old school mentality for you. Well, oldish school. It's the computer school. Basically, you have to kill everything. In old school AD and old school D&D, the idea that you get most of your experience from killing things, you know,
You have been waylaid by
was actually
enemies and must defend yourself.
flawed. In the original D&D, you got most of your experience
If none are better.
from rescuing treasures. Stop using them.
This way.
Keep telling you to stop using them. Stop using them. Damn it. So yeah. You know what? Let's detect some evil. Can't be bothered.
This way. For right. I always am.
Let's kill some Zvarts.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
I've done had enough of this.
It is done.
Butt kicking for goodness! Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Ah!
Okay, so that literally it's telling me who's evil. We got Ogrelons, cut the ghouls, a warg and a ghast and oh. Apparently we got the whole. Really? Is that the entire? It's not the entire. Can't be. Can't be.
Certainly.
You point, I punch. Squeaky wheel gets the kick!
I've done had enough of this.
Yeah, it can't be. Can't be that they're all here.
Done.
Well, that is weird. Perhaps sounds stupid they are all here, but it only shows what you're fighting for the encounter. That seems to make more sense, to be honest.
My blade will cut you down to size.
This group shows promise exceptional.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what was I? Oh, yeah, I remember what I was saying.
You have been waylaid by enemies
Again.
and must defend yourself.
Yep.
All right.
I can but try.
Full plate and packing steel.
Certainly.
Yep. I'm gone.
It is done.
I'll do my... Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Butt kicking for goodness!
I can... Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Well, as I was saying before, I got rudely erupted and then
Sunny or not,
rudely
it's nice to enjoy the
interrupted
outdoors.
again. No. Basically, in the original first edition of D&D, you actually gained more experience for gaining treasure than you did for defeating monsters. Which meant that your primary motivation, if you could say that. Okay, so it was beside greed. But basically, you had the primary motivation that you weren't supposed to basically sit there and duke it out and kill everyone. You were supposed to use... If you were a fighter, yeah. The best way to kill everyone and take the treasure. That's totally the approach you should go for. Or maybe protect the people, protect the others. But generally, you had to use whatever means you had to get whatever treasure there was. So it was like,
Indeed.
if you were a wizard, you'd want to avoid combat and use spells to get the treasure. If you were a rogue, you'd want to use stealth. If you were a fighter, then sure, combat was a viable approach. Or if you were in a party, your job was more to protect the others while they solved to get treasure, because it was often easier. In many games, especially the old core games, combat was seen as a failure state in many ways, as opposed to the standard MO. And it wasn't until later editions that combat would become probably the standard method of gaining experience. And this is...
I think much clearer with rest. Might we stop?
Yeah, we can, I suppose, if you really want to.
I must rest. Let that case of allergy.
Do you mean to do that? Just going to give that to you. How are you doing? Actually,
I
no,
grow weary.
actually, I don't even need you yet. I think I've still got healing spells. Quite a few of them, actually. Yep. So you can heal Khalid. You can heal yourself. And you can heal Minsk. Then we will quick save. We will rest. And then I will cast the ever-present Goodberry. Crap. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, I've got to remember, I've got to have 5 spaces left to get the most out of Goodberry. Oh well, never mind. Which is annoying since most of the time they stack anyway.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Really? Okay.
Certainly.
Less talk, more fight. Butt kicking for goodness!
If none are better.
Bandit scalps for the win.
I've done had enough of this. I've done had enough of this. My blade will cut you down to size.
If none are better. My heart's really not in this.
Squeaky wheel gets
Yes?
the kick!
Indeed.
I'll do my best.
Indeed.
They wish my ear?
So I kicked him in the head till he was dead.
I've done had enough of this.
I am here.
I feel so cold.
Your concern?
Cool one, son. Full plate and packing steel.
Really? Really? No. Good, but no.
Certainly. It is done.
That all?
I am here.
And basically it's annoying because by the time you drag your companion to wherever to go back, and if it's in an ambush you lose all that stuff anyway. So literally, if
Your
you've got...
honesty is refreshing, but lace it well with tact.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing about the random encounters like those. Because they're not on an area map, they're on the random encounters map. You lose any sort of...
It is done.
anything that's left behind. So if you can't carry it because basically you're full and... Do I have any bandit scouts? Can't remember if I do, to be honest. No, I don't. Okay, don't want to be here then. Yeah, basically if you... Because all that's...
Indeed.
I mean, she's got what? Think about it. Ring of Infravision, braces of archery, short bow, exactly. All of that would be lost if I didn't take it with me. And it's like, oh, well, take it with you then. It's like, well, yeah, but if you're taking that, then you might as well, you're dumping a lot of the stuff that you basically looted the place for. You know. For what? Because someone rolled a 20 and because you had a bad roll moving between encounters. And it gave you that rather than, say, Zvarts. You know. Because unfortunately in a random encounter, when you get ambushed, there isn't enough room to move. And yes, you could probably get out alive by running away, but who wants to do that? Because you know you've made it when you can. You know you've made it when you can run away. You know you made it when you can kill one of those encounters.
It is done.
Well, like I said, it's your classic. No hill giant strength. No, I want to sell you. Sell you. No, we'll keep you and we'll sell you. It's a classic, the idea that there is of one significant encounter and the random encounter of travelling between spaces. That's not your significant encounter. Not that you could save there anyway. So it's kind of a letdown on that regard. 277. So do you know what? I'm going to buy the Bandit Scalp back. I know it's stupid, but yeah, whatever. It's not like I'm running out of money, is it? I mean, I could buy another bastard sword. Bastard sword. Buy another bastard sword. And who gets to use the bastard sword? Well, Mince can use the bastard sword. Do it like that, and then Mince. Basically, you can get rid of the flower, because if we look at the longsword, that is 1d8 plus 1, and the flower is 1d6 plus 2, so yeah.
Certainly.
And we'll go back to the jovial juggler. So this has been another longer episode, but we're done for now. The next episode we will, I think there's one there and one there, so that should take 3 more episodes to do that, and then we can start looking over to fill over this side and work our way up to the bandit camp. There's no point doing this side, you can't do that until you find out what's going at the bandit camp, and while you can go up here, there's not much point to you do that. And Olga's Beard, because it's where most of the high level content was added, you're probably better off waiting until after you've done the main game, because most of the game itself wasn't actually changed, so you might as well wait until you're like have completed chapter, well, I'm not going to tell you what can, but until you completed to the main game and you're on the final end game, then you might as well complete what's going on with Olga's Beard, you know. Hey, Officer Vi, look at these bandit scalps.
It is done.
I know, 'tis stupid, but it's just neatness. I mean, I've played enough of this game that I can pretty much tell you the plot, like in broad strokes, pretty easily, so...
It is done.
Got anything you want to put in there? Yes, you want a potion. Put that potion in there. Stone giant strength. Okay. What about you? Have you got anything to put in there? No. No. Not particularly. No. Scrolls, okay.
Whatever they need, as well as I can.
It is done.
Now you see why it was so fun to get a gem pouch and a scroll bag and a... Technically the gem pouch was... Well, you're probably going to sell most of your gems anyway, but you can keep them on until you actually need to sell them. You know, whereas with the scroll pouch, I think you could... It was they did a potion bag as well. Basically, it was literally... You give you a scroll pouch to, or whatever to the wizard, and then give them all your scrolls. And literally, you could cast from any of the scrolls they have, and as you've seen, you get a lot of scrolls. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you've got a spell prepared when you've got a billion scrolls. So... Anyway, so yeah, we're going to save it there. This has been Vane doing Let's Play Baldur's Gate. If you like what you see in here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. And until the next time, goodbye.